Fans are filing into the Coliseum. It's the Yankees and the A's game 2 of this 3-game set. A's trying to win the series with a victory tonight as the left-hander J.P. Sears looks for his second win of the year. We'll give you game time weather brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Buy your ride wristbands online and save up to $20 per person. 61 degrees, humidity at 74%, the winds gusting at 10 miles an hour. Beautiful night for baseball. A's taking the field, looking for victory number 22 on the season. A's winning last night 2-1, 4 straight one-run wins. Last 4 wins have been by 1 run. Give the Yankees starting lineup. DJ LeMahieu has been struggling, leading things off at second base. Gleyber Torres had a pinch hit single last night as the DH, batting second. Rizzo in the 3 slot. Stanton batting 4th, playing right field. Harrison Bader playing center field. Josh Donaldson, the former Athletic, at third base. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa in left field. Kyle Higashioka, the catcher, and Anthony Volpe, the shortstop, batting 9th, all against the left-hander, who's pitched really well this year for the A's, J.P. Sears.
Yeah, J.P. Sears has done a fantastic job on the mound for the Oakland Athletics this season. Really kind of coming into his own with these last few outings. A couple outings, 7 innings a pop back-to-back. You'll take that. Remember, against Cleveland, it was 7 strong, just 2 earned runs allowed, 8 punch-outs for J.P. Sears. His 16th start of the season, and it feels like each and every one just gets a little bit better for the left-hander.
Yeah, he has been so crisp. Defense brought to you by our Bay Area GMC dealers. See Bride, Diaz, Kemp, and note on the infield, Rooker, Ruiz, Seth Brown in the outfield. Shea Langoliers, the catcher, the left-hander. The former Yankee, J.P. Sears, is on the hill. Seth Brown with that big home run in the 4th inning of the game last night. So he's back-to-back starts for him, home runs.
Well, I was having a good laugh with Brownie today before the game around the cage. I said, man, I felt like you stepped on it. I felt like you hit it hard. He said, DB, it was 110 at 39, and it sat up right on the out-of-town scoreboard. I said, yeah, you should probably do some more push-ups, man.
There you go. Get in the weight room a little bit. Here is DJ LeMahieu to lead things off. LeMahieu has had a really tough year and a tough June. And Sears delivers, and first pitch swinging, lifts it foul right side out of play. 0-1. 163 in the month of June for DJ LeMahieu. One from Sears. That's hit into right center on the move. Ruiz makes the diving catch for the out. What a play by Esty. Oh, he just keeps doing it and doing it.
Wasting no time. Get that highlight reel started, folks. I mean, off the bat, sounded good for DJ LeMahieu. Just didn't end up that way. That's a great job of tracking the baseball. And you can see Esty start to sink and get on level with the ball. JP, he'll take it. First AB of the game, no doubt.
Yeah, that's how it's gone for DJ LeMahieu as Gleyber Torres takes a strike.
Dawson, we asked the question last night, when's the last time you think you saw a lineup with the New York Yankees sporting 3 hitters right around the 200 mark or under? Tonight you've got 4 hitters in this lineup hitting under 200 against left-handers.
It's amazing. We are halfway through this season. To see these numbers, it's remarkable. 1-1 foul back of the umpires for tonight's game. At home plate, Edwin Moscoso, Mike Tomlinson at first, Jordan Baker at second, Chris Guccione, the crew chief. He is over at third. Torres with that pinch hit single. They did threaten in the 9th inning of that game last night. But Mole able to pick up the save, got the strikeout on pinch hitter Kyle Higashioka.
Well, they would have liked to have Mole face some lefties before that ended up happening, but Sam Mole able to do the job.
So Sears strikes out Torres, 2 down.
A good slider. Time now to take a look at some of the home plate umpire tendencies brought to you by our friends over at Sports Info Solutions. First season as a full-time MLB umpire for Edwin Moscoso, third Venezuelan to be in Major League Baseball umpire. Consistent strike zone, but as you can see, down and into lefties can be a bit of a blind spot.
Here's Rizzo.
And for a guy like Anthony Rizzo, that's probably a place that you would like to be able to attack, simply because you're trying to get him out away, but he's trying to meet you in the middle and take away that pitch away. I mean, like that ball right there has actually got a little cut on it, and it's middle, but because of where he's at in the box, it's really almost inner third. And check out the reverse splits for Anthony Rizzo. 388 against the southpaws, just 247 against right-handers.
Oh, 2. Shallow center field, Ruiz. And it's a 1-2-3 first inning for J.P. Sears. Kev, Noda, and Rooker when we return. Give me the A's starting lineup. A's come in 21-60. Tony Kemp to lead things off. Noda in the 2 slot. Brent Rooker batting third. Carlos Perez to the 8 set. Brown in right field. Jonah Bride, the third baseman. Aledmys Diaz at short. Shea Langoliers doing the catching. Esteury Ruiz has made that beautiful play. He's batting 9th, all against the right-hander Domingo Germán.
Yeah, Dosky, the calendar might say June, but it's felt like December because Domingo Germán has been getting lit up like a Christmas tree.
Kemp chops it foul.
Things have just not been good for Domingo Germán over his last 2 outings. 5 1/3 combined innings, 17 total runs, 15 earned. It's less than ideal.
It is, and I'll tell you, this is a big start for him because Rodon is close to returning. They're going to have some decisions to make as Kemp lifts one to right, and Carlos Stanton under it, 1 away. The 1 away in the first. With the defense brought to you by your Bay Area GMC dealers. For the New York Yankees, Donaldson, Volpe, LeMahieu and Rizzo on the infield. Kiner, Falefa, Bader, and Stanton in the outfield. They got Shioka doing the catching. The right-hander, 30 years old. He'll turn 31 in August. Domingo Germán.
And I think it could be a bit of a head-scratcher for Aaron Boone. You see there the Yankee skipper and the rest of the staff of the New York Yankees. Aaron Boone in his 6th season at the helm of the New York Yankees. But the stuff of Domingo Germán. Good fastball, good secondary offerings, and I think initially that's what you start to pay attention to. Good curveball, or maybe it used to be, because you start to dive in, take a look at some of the numbers, maybe why a guy's struggling, and I think you can take away some things.
1-2 on Ryan Noda. 52 walks to lead the American League. One-two. He strikes out Noda. 2 down.
Well, this is what I was alluding to. The last 2 starts. See the earned runs, 15 total, career high. Last time out against Seattle. But just the strikeouts, not much deception there. The home runs, tough time keeping the ball in the ballpark. Wadowski, that curveball, something that we've kind of been talking about here with Domingo Germán, just not quite the same bite, or what we like to call hair on it.
Yeah, each year it seems to has gotten less bite on it, right?
Well, you go back to 2017, he was featuring almost 50 inches worth of vertical movement. 2018, 47.7. 2019, 46.8. No 2020. 2021, 45.3. Last year, down to 45 inches of vertical movement. And then this year, 38.2 inches of vertical movement. So you have seen a drastic reduction.
2-2 on Rooker.
But what's interesting is still having pretty good success with it against left-handers.
2-2, got him swinging. So a 1-2-3 first inning for Germán. He strikes out 2. We're through an inning, no score. Take the A's on the go this season and stream the games on the NBC Sports app, brought to you by your NorCal Honda dealers. So here's working that perfect first inning. Here's Giancarlo Stanton to lead things off. It'll be Stanton, Bader, Donaldson face the lefty. Sears' last 2 starts, 7 innings apiece, and got a loss in both of those. You look throughout his whole season. I mean, he pitched well enough to win 5 or maybe 6 games even.
Well, we heard from Mark Kotsay today, and I kind of perked up when I heard him mention the way he sees J.P. Sears walk around the clubhouse and really walk around the field with a little more confidence about himself. And Aaron Boone, the opposing manager, also highlighted that, having not spent as much time around him as Mark Kotsay has. Just, you know, maybe invested from afar, former farmhand, and so you can understand why maybe you're watching a guy and you take note of the difference in presence.
Big swing and a miss. You know, I think it started. I think it started that game in Houston where he threw the 37 pitches in the first inning, and then he proceeded to retire 16 of 17. I think that's where the confidence really got boosted. The 3-2 foul back. Because he was one batter away from being taken out of that game. I mean, obviously 37 pitches in the first inning.
We talked about playing close games and what that can do for a group. Well, that's kind of like playing a close game as an individual, struggling early, but then figuring out a way to survive.
3-2 gets Stanton, second strikeout for Sears. Well, time now for the Febreze Fresh Stats. JP Sears' last 8 starts with that 2.93 ERA and the whip.
Well, it's
you like.
Yeah, well, it's because that identifies again whether guys creating traffic on the base path for himself, maybe how he's doing, avoiding that, and you limit the traffic and you combine that with the opponents hitting under 200. I mean, that just tells you that he's forcing the other team to hit his pitch.
Well, when the Bader misses inside. Bader 4 for 24 this month. It's been a rough month for the Yankee offense. Pop up down the foul territory. Noda will make the catch. 2 down.
Well, how about this? He has accomplished the following. This is over his last 2 starts. 7+ innings, 7 or more strikeouts, 4 or fewer hits allowed, 1 or fewer walks allowed. 1 loss, 0-2, unfortunately, but the second pitcher since 1901 with back-to-back starts meeting those criteria. Only Fernando Valenzuela in 1985.
Wow.
You find yourself on a list with Fernando Mania, baby.
Right.
Yeah, you're doing something right.
Here's Josh Donaldson. Donaldson with a home run in the 5th inning of the game last night. Only run for the Yankees.
Well, Fernando had the screwball, and JP Sears at times using that good changeup.
I'll never forget that Sports Illustrated cover with Fernando looking into the sky, 1980.
Oh, man. An all-timer.
He was 20 years old.
Breathing through the eyelids.
That's right. And I don't know what's going on here with Donaldson. But played up there, Edwin Moscoso saying something. Yeah, Donaldson not pleased with that 0-1 strike call. Oh, 2. Fell right below us.
Well, JD got it off to a start last night. Curveball up from Paul Blackburn. And JD left his card at the last dive bar.
Well, 7 of his 9 hits have been home runs this year. That one line foul. Oh, 2. Just missed. Close pitch.
And that's been part of the progression for JP Sears as well. In earlier starts, that's a pitch that bounces, really doesn't do much for him.
Just didn't get a piece of it. He's alive at 1 and 2.
And instead, what you're actually seeing is JP at times start to drop arm slot. You just saw that a bit there with the changeup, kind of moving it down, moving it around. So just getting all the more comfortable as the season continues.
A little closer to us that time. One thing that J.P. Sears said, J.P. Sears, danger zone with the nachos there. But one thing he said, I had a walk with him to the ballpark the other day in Cleveland. He was talking about the fact that, he goes, every day I'm trying to prove myself. I'm not completely, I don't want to ever feel comfortable where I'm not trying to prove myself.
Well, that's a mentality that I think you have to stick with. He wanted this one. Just off. We'll do it again.
Two-two. Got him looking. That's 3 strikeouts for Sears. He's retired 6 straight for the A's. Perez, Brown, and Bride coming up. Domingo Germán, that strikeout on Rooker was his 500th of his career. Facing Perez as Perez takes high. Two and 0. Carlos, despite the .241 average, I mean, he had some really good at-bats of late. And then foul.
He's a part of the group that has just worked wonders in the pinch hit slot. Seems like every time he's come up off the bench, he's delivered a hit, worked a nice walk somehow, some way.
One chop foul. So Domingo Germán. And we talk about the curveball and those numbers. And of course, he had the suspension, but before that, as the 2-2 is fouled away, he had a warning and did not get kicked out of a game.
Well, yeah, you remember he was kind of flagged for having a little bit of a sticky substance or a bit of an issue on his hand, was asked to kind of take care of it. Can you wash your hands?
Donaldson, one away.
And he obliged. But yeah, let's take you back to April. This is what we're talking about. Checking the hands. Oh, you know what? Is that rosin? If you're going to go back out there like that, you got to wash your hands. I have to have you go back and wash your hands. So goes back, washes his hands. Perfect. Good job. Here we go. Well, it wouldn't end there.
And Rocco Baldelli, by the way, was hot. He got kicked out of that game.
Well, you can understand maybe why, is because if you've raised the flag enough to where the umpire's asking you to wash your hands, I think Rocco Baldelli would feel like that's probably egregious enough to be penalized, to be punished. So why are we giving him the opportunity now to go and wash his hands? Are we just taking his word for it? Because if that's the case, you could probably throw the rule book out, right? I don't see anybody leading anybody astray in this game. Nobody's looking for loopholes here. So that's why I think Rocco Baldelli probably a little frustrated with how things were handled.
There's a 1-1 to Brownie. Curveball in there for a strike. 2-2 on Brown. Popped up. Higashioka throws down the mask and makes the catch. 2 down. Then a month later, here's what happened.
And remember, this is the same exact crew. Same crew, same umpires. It's Phil Cuzzy. He got him. Bodie, he's got to go. We asked him to wash his hands. We've talked about this. And he was not given the benefit of the doubt that time.
No, he was not. Here's Jonah Bride, who takes a strike.
And to your point, we've talked about the curveball and really the diminishing returns of that pitch. And I kind of highlighted where it was at in 2017, roughly 50 inches of vertical break. And then you think about where it sets today at 38.2 inches of vertical break. And I'm sure there's probably some mechanical issues, maybe just that much further along on the arm and the odometer.
0-2 got him looking. So 3 strikeouts for Germán. He's retired 6 straight. And we're through 2 complete. Third inning, no score in the game, and right-hander Paul Blackburn has joined us. And Paul, first of all, thanks for joining us, first of all. But
yeah, thanks for having me.
Look, the patience level you had with the injury. I know you were hankering to get back. How tough was that to just have that patience to know you wanted to be out there and just watch your teammates play and wanted to be back out there with them?
Yeah, it was definitely frustrating, especially when it was a bunch of little things that just kept popping up. It wasn't one major thing that we could kind of pinpoint. You know, I'm just glad to be back. Just be back with the boys and just compete.
Well, Paulie, that was going to be my next question, is how was that first interaction? You're back in the clubhouse, you're seeing everybody, and it kind of feels like, all right, now we go, it's go time. But there's some easing into that, if you will. And what was that like for you? Because as Johnny said, You're itching to get back out there. You know you've been dealing with some ticky-tack stuff, but now you're back with the boys. How'd that conversation go?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. You know, I was here for the first homestand of the year, and then I was supposed to only be gone for about a week and a half, 2 weeks at the most, and I had a little blister pop up, and it ended up being, I think, 7 weeks that I was gone, and it kind of felt like I walked into spring training again, honestly. You know, we have a lot of new faces that, you know, I spent spring training with and that first week of the year, but there's a lot of guys here that I didn't really know, and just being able to get back, and it's just exciting to build relationships with everyone.
Well, last night, great outing. I mean, 5 in the third, 4 hits and a run, walked 1, struck out 5. You look great navigating this Yankee lineup, and I don't care what the numbers say. It's still the New York Yankees. How'd you feel last night?
No, I felt good. You know, coming in off a long road trip, just being able to kind of build a little bit of momentum here for this week homestand that we have. You know, and try and carry it into today with JP, and you know, win a couple series.
And Paulie, I know the game plan and the mindset is, you know, we're not focused on individual wins and losses. We care about what that looks like at the end of the ball game. And for you last night, being able to get that W #1 under your belt, does that do much for you as an individual, the work you're putting in now? Because that's one of your hallmarks, is you're just a guy who keeps his head down, and you don't know if you were able to go 8 shutout or if you weren't able to get out of the first. So what does that do for you personally, just getting that #1 under the belt? Yeah, personally,
it really doesn't do anything for me. You know, I just want to win as a team. You know, that's what it is here at this level. You know, it's all about winning. Whatever it takes, and however it happens. It's just all about winning.
Paul, I can't tell you the number of players. There had to have been at least 8 to 10 that I've talked to that said it's not a coincidence that the team started playing more competitive games when you became active, and you were such a leader in that clubhouse, and you're getting to know these guys. I understand that, but it's got to make you feel good knowing they've kind of rallied around you, and just being a leader in that clubhouse. And saw Caprillion over there. He's a leader as well, as well as Tony Kemp. But what do you think of this clubhouse right now? What is your view of the clubhouse itself?
I think the clubhouse is great. You know, I feel like guys have really gelled and kind of came together, and you know, starting to get a lot more familiar with each other. And you know, there's been a lot more of just mornings or off days when we're on the road, where guys are getting together, whether it's breakfast or whether it's team dinners or things like that, and that goes a long ways, especially for a group that has only known each other now for, you know, 3.5 months or whatever it is. You know,
Yoshioka, and that's Brown making the catch on the track, one away.
No, yeah, but anytime you can get a group of guys together, you know, a lot of it happens on the road just because we're all staying in the same hotel, and you know, everyone's trying to find something to do, somewhere to eat and whatnot. And while we're home, it's a little different. Everyone's kind of scattered as far as where they live. But no, anytime you can get the guys together, it just builds that team camaraderie.
How were you able to keep yourself busy during your downtime, working your way back? Because we know what goes into the rest and the rehab and trying to get back on the field, but it's a little different maybe once you leave the training room. So how were you able to keep yourself busy? What did you do away from the ballpark to keep Paulie punch-outs kind of locked in, or if you needed to, kind of keep yourself away from the game at a time?
Honestly, I just sat there and watched all our games. And I'm just trying to figure out kind of, you know, what was going wrong or why things were going wrong, whether it's sequencing or, you know, pitch design, pitch type, whatever. You know, I feel like I'm a baseball nut, and now that's all I've known my whole life. So, you know, that's really what I did. I know it's not anything interesting, but that's kind of just what I do on a daily basis.
Well, I think that speaks to exactly what Johnny was saying about multiple guys understanding that now the bar is just sort of raised when you walk into the clubhouse. Well,
2 down as Falefa moves to second.
Paul, let me ask you this. Do you see any similarities between a young group that you have been a part of in years past and watching the development of some of these young players and really the great mix that we have of some veteran guys and these young players that will be impact guys?
Yeah, definitely. You know, not only from the pitching standpoint, either from the position player side of things. We got a lot of young guys that want to learn. They ask a lot of questions, and you know, it's one of those things where, you know, when questions are asked, you know, sometimes people just ask questions just to ask questions, but there's a lot of times here where guys are asking questions and they're making those strides forward. And you know, whether good or bad outing from the pitching standpoint aside, you know, our younger guys they're always talking to us and they're always, you know, asking us questions about, you know, why do you think this happened or why do you think that happened? You know, I know it's the same from the position player side of things too. So yeah, it's a really talented young group. You know, it's been a lot of fun. You know, whether we've had a lot of ups and a lot of downs so far this year, it's a really good group to be with.
Paul, thanks so much for taking the time, man. Keep it going. Appreciate the leadership and great job last night. Thanks for taking the time.
Hey, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Paulie.
That was Paul Blackburn, our guest. Great to catch up with him. As DJ LeMahieu now with a 3-0 count.
Well, I mean, you hear the guy talking. I knew the answer to a lot of those questions because he's a baseball rat. He loves this game. He loves the art and the craft of pitching, really on levels you don't see a lot from other guys. And so it's not a mystery to me why Paul Blackburn has had the impact that he's had on that room, on the rotation, really permeating even beyond the pitcher's group.
Yeah, I didn't really fully grasp how much of a team leader he was until this year, and just talking to these guys, and they really lean on him.
Well, he's a consistent face, and you know, he's one of those guys where you call it clock watching, where you can watch the clock and account for where Paul Blackburn is in his workday.
There's a 3-2 to LeMahieu. That's popped up. Sears is going to get all the way for Noda, and the inning is over. No runs, a walk, one left. It'll be Diaz, Langoliers, and Ruiz when we return.
This telecast is brought to you by First United Credit Union, proud sponsor of the Oakland A's Home Runs for Hunger.
Ledmus Diaz takes high and away 1-0. So Diaz will lead things off. Germán has retired the first 6 he has faced. He has 3 strikeouts. Volpe at short. And one away. It's 7 in a row retired by the right-hander. Here's Langoliers. And Shea made that phenomenal throw from his knees yesterday.
How about that? Really kind of the only thing he had left to do, or that he was able to do, was figure out a way to get rid of it quickly, and that was from the knees on target. Very reminiscent of Benito Santiago.
In there for strike.
Dusky, I showed up in Mayagüez, Puerto Rico, and playing first game. And who do I see behind the plate? Well, I see a guy with massive diamond earrings peeking out from behind that mask just underneath the helmet, and in between innings, as they do, throw down. And I was walking in, and I was late to the ball game. I had arrived. It was my first day there on the island. And in between innings, the throw is made down to second from the knees. And I think to myself, is that, there's no, oh my God, that is Benito Santiago. Are you kidding me? And this last night brought all those memories flooding back. Shea Langoliers just trying to get rid of it any way he can. And wouldn't you know it, use the turf on target.
Skies one to left. Kind of Falefa. Kind of circle it, make the catch. Wow, 9 ahead of Gabriel Marino. I mean, 23.
That's hosing him down. That is hosing him down.
Well, before the year started, I got to hand it your friend of mine, Dan Meyer, the left-hander who's in the Braves system as a, I think he's a pitching coach in AAA, is he, or AA?
Well, he's now in the Pittsburgh Pirates organization.
That's right.
Yes, AAA. Yeah. He was with the Braves at that time, which is where the familiarity with Langoliers comes from.
Yeah, and he was just saying, like, he's going to watch how many would-be base stealers going to throw out this year, and he's right. I mean, Langoliers has been amazing. Here's Ruiz in that 9 slot. A soft line drive. Volpe will handle it. And that's 9 up and 9 down against Domingo Germán. The Torres, Rizzo, and Stanton coming up.
Is now accepting applications. Bay Area organizations have the opportunity to apply for up to $10,000 to support the impactful work you are doing in your community. The deadline to apply is July 31st, 2023, so visit athletics.com/donations to learn more.
Torres lifts one down the right field line. Brown in foul territory, has some room and makes the catch. So one away in the fourth. And Sears is now retired.
Tell you, a few things, Dosky, excite me more than first pitch weekly hit foul ball outs.
Nice little foul out.
We get used to it here at the Coliseum, but there's something about it. You know, it's like a nice sunset, fresh pair of socks, and a first pitch weekly popped up foul out.
Feels good, doesn't it? Here's Rizzo. Gonna say, as my math was a little short there, but 10 of 11 retired by Sears to start the game. It's that walk to Kiner Falefa in the third. Rizzo flied out to Ruiz in center field in the first. So Sears, who came up in the Yankee system. The Yankees, I mean, they were really high on him, but dealt him to the A's.
You just see what J.P. Sears is all about at this point in time in the season. You can, I think, go back and really realize the growth that has occurred with the left-hander. There's a lot to like.
Foul.
This is how he got here. A's and Yankees back on August 1st. A's said, we will take J.P. Sears, Bowman, Medina, Waldichuk. We've got Montas and Trevino for you. You into it? Cashman said he was.
2-2, got him swinging. Actually felt it into the glove of Langolier. So that is the fourth strikeout for Sears. 2 down.
Well, Anthony Rizzo absolutely crushed a slider before this. He got out in front, but looks like he was almost beat by the slider.
There's Stanton. That's a fly ball to deep left field. And just looking up his rooker, it is gone. 7th of the year for Stanton in his 15th RBI. No doubt about it off the bat.
Fastball middle, and it was absolutely clubbed. 111 miles an hour off the bat of Stanton, 420 plus feet.
Here's Bader. 19th home run allowed, but 12 of them have been solo shots.
And if you're going to give them up, that's about the only way you can survive. Make them worth one. Anything more than that, you start to talk about those crooked numbers, those big innings.
But he's had a bunch in a row that have been solo shots. Hit to deep left. Rooker looking up, and it's going to hit the base of the wall. Harrison Bader has himself a double here in the 4th inning. That's his 3rd double of the year.
Well, just a couple of bats back to back where the location probably hasn't been the best. This one up, maybe slightly inner third to Harrison Bader. But he's able to get to it and get to it easily. So a couple fastballs right now that have just found way too much of the strike zone.
Langolier's out there to chat with him as Domingo Germán. The Yankees have a 1-0 lead here in the 4th. Donaldson struck out looking back in the 2nd. He is 1 for 5 in the series with 3 strikeouts, all looking.
This is where I think we've seen J.P. Sears at times take those strides. Got a power threat like Donaldson up. Runner in scoring position, you got to bear down.
And he has, after a lot of those solo homers, had that short memory.
Well, it feels like, you know, again, almost like that prize fighter who does get punched in the mouth that first time of the fight and realizes, I'm into one right now. I'm gonna have to put the hands up. I'm gonna have to start moving around here, get off center line. Otherwise, this could be a quick evening for myself. And then you start to see that guy come back, deliver a counter punch here and there, and he's back in the fight. And that's something that we have seen from J.P. Sears.
Yeah, that 1-1 Donaldson didn't care for. 1-2. 2-2 on Donaldson. But home run for Donaldson last night, 273rd of his career. And who knew, right? 2012, he was up and down with the A's. Donaldson was up and down 3 or 4 times with the A's in Sacramento. 2-2 got him swinging. You're going to run on the Stanton blast. Doing 3.5. It's 1-0 Yankees.
Moment on this date back in 2009, Hall of Famer Mariano Rivera, Big Mo, not just number 500, career save number 500. He would end up with 652 career saves under the belt when it was all said and done. Remember, Mo retired back in 2013, 13-time All-Star, 5 World Series championships, an MVP to go along with that back in '99. And as we all know, number 42 retired as a New York Yankee.
How's that resume?
It reads like a CVS receipt. It just does not stop.
1-1 on Kemp. Kemp flied out to the right fielder Stanton in the first inning.
I mean, it's unbelievable. 5 World Series championships.
Oh, just hit foul.
MVP. And all of it, one pitch, right? One pitch. You get it. Yeah, okay, you straighten a four-seamer out here or there every 3 weeks or so to get the opposition off the cutter, but you don't need to worry about it.
99.4% cutters.
And 100% vote to get that man to the Hall.
Yep.
There's Mo's circle, then there's the inner circle, and then there's the Hall of Fame.
Exactly. 1-2. That one hit to right and hit well. Stanton going back. He's going to make the catch high to track, one away. So Kemp just missed it. 10 in a row retired by Germán to start the game. Here's Ryan Noda, struck out swinging in the first inning. 3 strikeouts for Germán.
It was an awkward swing from Ryan Noda. Almost like he saw the pitch up and then realized it's probably going to start working its way down, but again, not with quite the finish I think that you might expect from Domingo Germán. And it's a curveball, and you see it there. Really, as far as what the numbers tell you, the profile, it's almost like it backs up. I mean, that's a curveball finishing like it's moving away from a left-hander.
There's a 2-1. They're throwing a ton of changeups in this game so far. 3-1.
No, that might be a look at the first one. There hasn't been a whole lot of them.
Three and 2.
Oh, look at it. Here it is. There's that curveball. Looks like it's got a little slider rotation to it, but again, working away from the left-hander.
Got him swinging with an off-speed pitch. Got him with a curveball, so he strikes out Noda for the second time. That's 4 strikeouts for Germán. He's retired 11 straight.
Well, there's really nothing fancy about this. I mean, it's 82 thigh high, essentially middle of the zone, but it very well could be a combination of the spin and I'll say lack of natural movement and maybe the awkward movement that might be throwing Ryan Noda off. And that's kind of what we highlighted, the success that Domingo Germán has had on that curveball against left-handers specifically coming into the ball game today. 0.92.
Wow, it is quite a contrast to his last 2 starts. He's been very effective with that curveball. 1-1 on Rooker, struck out in the first inning. One and 2. Rooker last night 0 for 3. No, 0 for 4. In the series is just trying to find a way to get it going again. 1-2. With it foul.
Well, what do we try to tell folks, Josky?
Be patient
and let the game come to you.
Boom.
I got it. I got it.
That's right.
It's that easy.
And he did not. She didn't bring a glove. She didn't bring a glove to the game.
No, she's like, look, I'm going to be a star. I told you guys, you're working overtime, crawling over tables and chairs and rows, and no, it'll come to me.
Yeah, she'll be signing autographs soon. As Rooker swings and misses, down he goes. That's 5 strikeouts now and 12 in a row retired by Germán to start the ball game.
Grab seats with the best views for the 2023 season from the newly renovated Legends Lounge, featuring a mix of drink rails, stadium seating, and lounge space. Food and beverage packages with 15 parking passes are included. Athletics.com/groups to learn more about it.
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa walked in that third inning. Good slider from the left-hander. 1 run, 2 hits for the Yankees. No runs, no hits for the A's.
Well, that slider's been a good pitch so far for J.P. Sears.
Ooh, that's close.
Yeah, it was about to be another strikeout.
Did he go?
Yeah.
I think he did. No question, yeah.
Well, it's nice to see J.P. Sears, I think kind of go back and forth, and he's got a feel for one pitch. Pretty good idea of how he wants to utilize it.
Close pitch, 3-2.
I think at times you see guys really try to force the action with one pitch or another, whether it be working for them or not, and that can get in the way of you completing efficient innings.
Langoliers gives a look, but well in amongst the spectators. Keep waiting for your opportunity. You had one the other day, right?
Well, it was close. It was close. There may or may not have been a hurdle in my way.
Got to accept responsibility. 3-2. Misses, so he walks Isaiah Kiner-Falefa for the second time. Only 2 walks he has issued. And here is Kyle Higashioka, the catcher.
Well, that has been something that J.P. Sears has also done a really nice job of. That's filling up the strike zone.
Higashioka takes a strike, 0-1. Higashioka talked about his experience at WBC and how much he learned. He said, I'm going to miss some spring training. He missed 2 or 3 weeks of spring training, and so he's a little bit behind. He said it was worth it, just picking the brains of Goldschmidt. So he learned so much. 0-1, misses, 1-1.
Well, there's a lot of information to be shared, a lot of information to be had, and then just, tricks of the trade. Maybe a scouting report or 2 on some guys. You take note, watch BP.
He said he didn't even care if he played. He just wanted to go and pick the brains of some other players, other team star players, and learn so much. The 2-1. Time called.
Yep, Higashioka will take a personal.
That's fouled away. Chase Noda, and Noda will run out of room. Good effort for the first baseman.
Yeah, if he can't get to it, there's probably not much of a shot at it.
And he loves all this foul territory. Noda's having the time of his life.
Well, it took him about 2 seconds to get comfortable with the idea that he was going to have several opportunities a night to make highlight reel type plays.
Goes over to first to keep an eye on Kiner-Falefa. Runner goes. That one hit down the left field line for a base hit. Into third base goes Kiner Falefa. He's going to come in and score. It's a double for Higashioka, and it's 2-0 Yankees.
Talk about living right. Aaron Boone decides to put the game in motion. So JP Sears, little drop down slide piece. And Higashioka able to keep the head down long enough and stay back long enough. Let that slider get to him. Just tucks it down the line. And because Kiner Falefa was off with the pitch, he will score easily from first base.
Here's Volpe. And a push punt up along first. Going to be trouble. And Sears throws it away. Coming in to score, Higashioka going to second base, and holding there is Volpe. It's 3-0 Yankees. So Volpe getting to second base, a 3-0 game. He's going south here in the 5th inning.
Well, Volpe taking a little bit of an advantage here against JP Sears, the left-hander, finishing off to the third base side. And you can see Sears, the only chance he has here is to go bare hand, try to give it over to Ryan Noda. Unfortunately, just held on to the baseball a little too long during that shuttle pass, or that shovel pass, if you will.
The error charge to Sears. And he scored a single and then E1. So a single E1.
Well, it's that tough tweener play. Just need somebody to try to come up with a big play.
Well, Sears now at 76 pitch. They're going to get somebody up. The runner goes. Got a great jump throw to third, not in time. So Volpe steals third base.
Well, Volpe with an incredible jump. As soon as JP Sears turned his head and looked home, Volpe was off, was not waiting for a leg kick. We've seen him get that little bit of a head start with that lead. Guys kind of walking into it or sort of bunny hopping into that first part of their lead.
Now the infield comes in. Mayhew calls time.
You see Shintaro Fujinami starting to crank JP Sears, set to deliver pitch number 80 here, top of the 5th. Runner on third, 2 across, and nobody out.
Volpe, by the way, that's his 16th stolen base in 17 attempts. There's a base hit into left field for LeMahieu as Volpe comes in to score. It's a 3-run inning. It's 4-0 New York. And Scott Emerson's going to go out there and chat with the left-hander.
Well, I think at times we've seen a few pitches on the slider, on the changeup as well for JP Sears, where there's times it looks like he might be just a little more on the side of the baseball than he is really working through the top or finishing pitches, and that can kind of flatten some things out for you.
So LeMahieu picks up, that's his 26th RBI of the year. And Gleyber Torres will be the 5th man to bat in the inning. Still nobody out. Torres is struck out and flied out. Four runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Yankees. No runs, no hits, and 1 error for the A's. Start off with that walk to Kiner Falefa, and then a hit and run double down the left field line. Pretty good push bunt up along first from Volpe. Another single from LeMahieu. Where's the error? Oh, misses away, 1-2. One-two pitch, misses away. Change up from JP.
Well, I told you Sears, has done a decent job of throwing strikes this season, being in and around the strike zone. Think about this: the opponents have swung at over half of the pitches out of the hand of JP Sears, 52%.
2-2 misses.
That's the 6th most in all of baseball.
Wow.
And I think, at times you can see JP Sears starting to gain that confidence to pitch and attack in the strike zone as well, but I think that has really helped the growth.
3-2 misses way outside. That might be all for the left-hander as he loses Gleyber Torres. Anthony Rizzo will be the hitter, and Rizzo, as we know, his numbers against left-handed pitching this year. Sears at 84 pitches, 49 strikes.
Well, in 23 pitches this inning, set to deliver his 24th, and you kind of highlighted an outing that he had earlier this season, 37 pitches in the first inning. And something we've seen from Aaron Boone, or excuse me, from Mark Kotsay, is the willingness to stick with a guy who, in his mind, has earned the opportunity to try to work out of a jam and make some pitches to kind of help himself and help his club out. Because ultimately, if JP Sears could work through the 5th inning here, that would really help the bullpen.
1-1 on Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo was fly down and struck out. He's 1 for 4 with a couple of walks in the series. Rizzo originally came up with the Padres. 1-2. Nice catch. A fan down the left field line. High fives all over the place. Nicely done.
Do it, lefty. Oh, yeah.
Fist pump and all. It's great.
Yes.
The way Rizzo just stays in against left-handed pitchers, though, it's impressive.
Well, he's a guy who, earlier in his career, probably find him closer to the top of the list of guys who were getting drilled. Not afraid to wear one.
One-two. Popped up foul into play.
And that's a good example right there. Slider stays close to the body line, and you got to figure out of the hand of JP Sears. That's a ball that's probably starting maybe behind or at least right at Anthony Rizzo.
Rizzo calling time. Yankees, despite their offensive woes, still 7 games over 500. Coming in, the 1-2. Having trouble with it, Noda. Kemp will try to underhand to Sears, not in time. That'll be an error charge to the first baseman. The bases are loaded now for Stanton, and that will be all for the left-hander. So bases loaded, nobody out for Stanton as Kotsay making the change. And when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and brake experts.
By Pacifico Beer. Head to orderpacifico.com and get beer delivered to your door now. Pacifico Beer. Please drink responsibly.
Well, how about this? Long inning, been there, done that. So I know what Domingo Germán's going through, and I know what JP Sears is going through as well. This one's going to stick with them. 4+ innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs. Just not quite his best stuff this evening. I'll turn it over to Fuji, see if they can't get out of this tough spot.
Stanton has struck out and homered. The 26th appearance for Fuji.
Well, Stanton opened things up with that homer back in the 4th.
385 homers in his career now. Shot into left field, and that will score a couple. LeMahieu scores, Torres will score, Rizzo to second. It's now 6-0 Yankees.
Well, that was a bullet, 115 miles an hour off the bat of Giancarlo Stanton. Goodness, 100 miles an hour out of the hand of Shintaro Fujinami. Giancarlo Stanton here for every bit of that matchup.
So it's a 5-run 5th, and Harrison Bader will be the hitter. Sears still responsible for Rizzo at second.
Well, that is now the 7th hit over 115 miles an hour, essentially 116 miles an hour or better for Stanton. On the screws.
Yeah, it's been an interesting year for him. As talked about, he has struggled, but he's also made some hard contact too. And I mean, it's a matter of time. Some of these guys are going to get hot. You know that. I mean, staying with a couple of hits in this game tonight. That one foul back.
And having had a peek at, I think, what each individual in this lineup at one point in time or another looks like when they're hot, you can realize why the Yankees think, you know, we could still make some noise here.
Well, they can. I mean, they're right there in the wild card race. And the way the Rays have made the first half of the season be tough to catch them. 2-2 now on Bader.
You know, but a few years ago we watched DJ LeMahieu carry the offense. We know what that man right there, Aaron Judge, is capable of. But we've seen Gleyber Torres get hot, Anthony Rizzo, Giancarlo Stanton, even a guy like Josh Donaldson, Harrison Bader. So I think on some level, if you start to have a few of those guys turn it around, that number right there, their record, could look even better than it does.
Three-two, got him. So that's the first out of the 5th inning as Bader strikes out. And we'll bring up Josh Donaldson. First look at the breaking ball from Fuji.
Well, love the fact that it's 3-2 and Fujinami having the confidence to go to that pitch 3-2. I think the scouting report tells you get a pretty good idea that fastball's coming. It's a good one. It's 100+ miles an hour. So if Fujinami can keep guys off balance by throwing that slider for strikes, that'll help him out.
Big swing and miss from Donaldson, who's 0 for 2. And for Donaldson, of course, it's even if you're a veteran guy and he's had the Boo Birds in New York, it's obviously not the easiest place to play when you're struggling. But he's a veteran guy, been through a lot in his career. 37 years old, 0-2 in the dirt, 1-2. But that just goes along with it. Aaron Hicks had to deal with it. Many people in New York have had to deal with it.
Well, JD's got that rhino skin. You know, he's a tough customer. And he'll admit to you that at times it's probably been self-inflicted to an extent, but he's just a guy that has no problem turning the page, staying unaffected.
One-two, got him swinging. So second strikeout for Fuji, 2 down. They have batted around as Isaiah Kiner-Falefa will be the hitter.
Well, and it sounds like those Boo Birds have flown west for the summer. Some Yankee fans showing their displeasure with what is now the 3rd strikeout for Josh Donaldson this evening in as many at-bats.
Here is Kiner-Falefa. Now the right side and through. Rizzo around third as the throw comes in from Brownie, not in time, and it's now 7-0 Yankees. It's a 6-run 5th. Now Kiner-Falefa picks up his 18th RBI of the year.
And a very simple approach from Kiner-Falefa. You almost get the sense he was looking for this pitch. Just give me something away that I can just kind of punch a hole with, and he does. See how far back he hits this baseball? That's a combination of a simple approach and 99 miles an hour doing the majority of the work.
Slider for a strike on Higashioka. Noda. And the inning is mercifully over, but 6 runs in the 5th. And we're through 4.5, 7-0 New York.
T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN July 10th at 4 p.m. Pacific. Then catch the 93rd MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard. July 11th at 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox.
Carlos Perez will lead things off. 12 in a row retired by the right-hander to start the game, Domingo Germán, as Perez just went to Stanton, about 25 feet from the track, one away. 13 in a row retired by the right-hander. Seth Brown fouled out to Higashioka in the second inning. We talked about the fact the Yankees are going to get Rodon back. Rodon will come back, I think, in the next couple of weeks. I know he's got a rehab start here shortly. So they're getting healthier.
Yeah, he was just off the mound here recently. 4 solid innings. No runs. But really, it's not much to do about the production. It's just how he feels. Bouncing back, coming out of that outing. Much like we talk about in spring training, it's the ups and downs and how the body's recovering, how the body responds to the next day of work.
Yeah, perfect case in point was Blackburn on those rehabs. Now a nice play by Rizzo, and he feeds Germán 2 down. So Anthony Rizzo making that play, diving to his left.
And something you see Anthony Rizzo do here is he takes his time getting up. He makes a great play, but you see him just kind of take his time, gather himself. He's not rushing. You don't see the ball jostle around the glove. It's not a hurry to try to get this play over with. That gives time for Germán to get over and cover.
Bride struck out looking in the second. 5 strikeouts for Germán. That one hit foul. Saw that 4-time Gold Glove Award winner. One and 2 on Jonah Bride. There's a 1-2 offering. Got him swinging, and Domingo Germán is perfect through 5. That's his 6th strikeout. 7-0 New York.
Happy hour to great matchups to post-game fireworks and drone shows. The options are endless, fans. Get 4 tickets and parking for any Friday night game starting at just $49 with the Friday 4-pack presented by Chevrolet. Tickets available at athletics.com/fan value.
Anthony Volpe picks inside. Time called by the Yankee shortstop. 7 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Yankees. No runs, no hits, 2 errors for the A's. Domingo Germán has been perfect through 5. To right center, Brown on the move. It's going to fall in. Volpe digging for 2. He's going to get there. It's a double. So a double for Anthony Volpe. That's his 10th double of the year.
Well, you can see right now Seth Brown talking to Estuary Ruiz on the way back to right field. Hey, we got to talk here. I can't really see it in the lights. I end up losing it. And you can kind of tell by the angle there from Seth Brown. Right there, you can see him start to recover. That's probably about the time he picks that baseball up. And this is where the communication from the center fielder and the corner outfielders is imperative.
Mayhew, that one gets away from Langoliers. Moving to third base is Volpe. That's one that Ruiz has to take over, right? And say, either I've got it or kind of back off, right?
What you have to do is you have to clarify deep angles, short angles. Take a look at this heater that just gets spiked. Not much Shea Langoliers can do here. Try to body up at 99, about 4 feet or so out in front of you. That's a business decision you got to make. But as a center fielder, you want to make sure that your corner outfielders understand which angle they're going to be taking or you're going to be taking. So you let them know, hey, I've got the deep angle, you can take the short angle, meaning on a low liner, something like that. As a corner outfielder, feel free to take that direct line to try to make that extraordinary play. Because as your center fielder, I've let you know that I've got your deep angle. I can cut you off. And here's Brownie telling him, the lights, just got to talk to me on that because I can't see anything. Those lights are up there. We got to talk.
The 2-1 pitch, chased and missed.
A swing like that tell you just how nasty the stuff is for Fuji.
He's a veteran hitter too at 294 lifetime. DJ LeMahieu. LeMahieu 1 for 3. Was robbed by Ruiz in the first inning. And Rob caught by Bride. 1 away.
A low liner right at JB. Ball had a little top spin to it. He barreled it. Nothing to show for it.
Looking up for is Brownie. He will make the catch for the out, and holding at third is Volpe as Brownie gets it in quickly. 2 down. Nice job by Seth Brown.
Yes, it was. Brownie had to crash hard. You got to make that decision early to get to top speed coming in on that baseball. Last thing you want to do is find yourself having overran the ball, trying to make an aggressive play. See him kind of catch it off to the side. Good strong 1-hop into Langoliers.
Here is Rizzo, who is 0 for 3 on the night. And we've seen that with Ruiz, and of course, again, still learning the position, but the communication is something that, you know, he's got to work on in center field. 1-0 misses high. 2-0 on Rizzo.
Well, he's a young guy flanked by one of the veterans in Seth Brown to his left. You got Brent Rooker to his right. And so it might be a matter of a young voice trying to find the volume. Meaning it's not as easy as you might think to go out there and just become the leader per se, but it's something that has to happen as a center fielder.
Three and one on Rizzo. Yankees with a 6-run fifth. Three and two.
That fastball just kind of took off. See the reaction from Rizzo?
Yeah. Rizzo kind of said, what was that? The 3-2 pitch. That's popped up. Jonah Bride calling for it all the way. And Shintaro Fujinami with a scoreless 6th. He's looking for a base runner. Diaz, Langoliers, and Ruiz. Domingo Germán, his team has 7-0 lead. Aledmys Diaz will lead things off. He's retired the first 15 he has faced. As Diaz takes a curveball away. Aledmys grounded out to Volpe, the shortstop, in the 3rd inning. Change up there from the right-hander, 1-1.
He's had everything working tonight. I don't think there's any question about that.
Left to the left field. Kind of Falefa under it. One away in the 6th. Catch every pitch with the fastest internet and a reliable connection you can count on in the clutch, even during peak hours. The next generation 10G network. So Shea Langoliers will be the hitter. He's not had a base runner tonight. 16 in a row, retired by Domingo Germán. Langoliers flied out to Kiner Falefa in the 3rd.
Well, the Yankees so far this season, 31-5. leading after 6 innings. Yaxel Rios starting to throw now for the green and gold.
The 1-1 pitch. That foul. 108.3 off the bat. Langoliers 1-2. Well, when this right-hander was growing up in the Dominican Republic, his idol was Derek Jeter. So he watched Yankee games as a kid. There's a 1-2 pitch. Foul out of play.
I think you could probably say that for a lot of folks who grew up Yankees fans in the mid-90s on. Derek Jeter has a lot to do with their fandom.
Here's a 1-2. Got him swinging. That's 17 in a row to start the game for Germán. Esteury Ruiz will be the hitter.
Well, and this pitch has been a moneymaker for him tonight. And again, it's not a pitch that you're seeing really a ton of fuzz on. It hasn't garnered those big, huge swing and misses. It's really just about a bunch of awkward swings, it looks like.
Next pitch will be his 70th of the game. That was his 7th strikeout. One on Esteury Ruiz. Ruiz actually with a line drive in that 3rd inning. Anthony Volpe, the shortstop. That one hit foul. One and 2 on Ruiz. Time called by Steve.
This is where you would typically see guys really start to slow the game down, really start to disrupt the timing of Domingo Germán.
Got him swinging, so he's perfect through 6. That's 18 straight retired from the right-hander. Now it's 8 strikeouts for through 6.
To you by First United Credit Union, proud sponsor of the Oakland A's Home Runs for Hunger.
Top half of the 7th inning, a 7-0 Yankee lead. As Domingo Germán has worked 6 perfect innings for the A's. Yaxel Rios, new pitcher on. Facing Giancarlo Stanton. It's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. Stanton 2 for 3 with that home run in the 4th inning. Stanton, of course, had those big years with the Marlins. I mean, if you look at Stanton's career, I mean, he's got a legitimate shot. I mean, he's going to get 400. And now we have some issues here. Yaxel Rios, and we're going to take a look at him.
Oh. Well, tell you the reaction right now, guessing there's probably some tingling going on.
Yeah, right away you could see when they came out.
Yeah, as soon as he let that ball go, you can see him just kind of throw his hand up. It's like he knew it right away, kind of felt it right away. That is not good. Hope everything is okay with Yaxel Rios.
We'll take a break as the A's trailing 7-0, and we'll have more after this.
Cast is brought to you by Airport Home Appliance. Get free next day delivery on hundreds of in-stock appliances. Visit airportappliance.com.
Well, let's check out what's on tap, brought to you by Pacifico. See the next 6 series after the Yankees. The A's will take on the White Sox this weekend, and then go to Detroit and Boston for a road trip back east, and then host the Twins, Red Sox, and the Houston Astros between July 14th and the 23rd. Of course, the All-Star break in there, as the A's will try to get it rolling this weekend. First, of course, the game tomorrow against the Yankees, and then 3 coming in against the White Sox, who have underachieved this year. That's been a tough run for them.
Yeah, rather unfortunate. And again, they're just part of that central group where you've kind of waited for a team to say, all right, it's going to be our division. Just hasn't happened. We've seen that happen the past few seasons, American League and National League alike. Austin Pruitt now just 2 pitches away, doing one of the more difficult things you have to do, and that's come out and warm up in front of the entire stadium. I know it might not sound like it's much. You're thinking, well, you pitch in front of all these people. What's warming up in front of all these people? What's the difference there? You might just have little things that you like to check off as you're going through your warm-up routine, and sometimes just might not lend itself to doing that. You do just feel rushed, regardless of having all the time you need. So,
you know, we see Rios come out like that. Has there been a time in your career where you threw a pitch and you're like, oh, that's it, I know I'm...
Well, yeah, the one time it happened was the last time I ever threw a pitch, and that was in a bullpen at UCLA. Never in a game.
That's ball 4 to Stanton. Stanton walks. But you talk to plenty of pitchers who have been through it, and I've talked to plenty of pitchers who have been through it, and just a helpless feeling out there on the mound.
Well, you let that one go, and it never felt right. It's uncomfortable, it's different, and you know it, and you're just kind of hoping for that feeling to subside. As see Giancarlo Stanton lifted. That'll bring on Cabrera.
Yeah, Oswaldo Cabrera, the pinch runner here in the 7th. There is Harrison Bader. Bader 1 for 3 with a double, and that double in the 4th. That one looped down the right field line for a base hit. Cabrera will get to 3rd. So runners on the corners, nobody out for Josh Donaldson. Little bleeder down the right field line for Bader, his 2nd hit of the night.
Well, he's got a slider just off the plate, and right off the cup of the bat. Able to dunk it out there in front of Seth Brown. Cabrera, the speedster, goes 1st to 3rd, nice and easy.
Here is Josh Donaldson, struck out 3 times, and actually struck out 5 consecutive times in the series. One and one. One misses high. Sinker from the right-hander.
Austin Pruitt's a guy that you can take a lot away from watching him pitch. And what you take away is the importance of location and execution. It's one thing to have good stuff. It's another thing to be able to harness it and command it.
2-2 chop foul.
Well, Pruitt, as we've said many times before, might not be that overpowering threat. He's a guy that, as a hitter, I think can frustrate you because he's not going to give in to you, and he's forcing you to have to stick to your game plan, where at times guys might want to start expanding their zone because they see something hittable.
Here's Ruiz, and coming in to score easily is Cabrera, and it's now 8-0 Yankees. So sacrifice fly for Donaldson, and that is his 10th RBI.
Well, as the Yankees offense continues to move this lineup, the way things have gone in this ball game for the A's offense, consider the time spent on the bench for Domingo Germán. Really just over the course of 2 half innings. You go back to that 5th inning, that 6-run 5th inning for the New York Yankees. And I believe it was 24, 25 minutes for that half inning. And now you fast forward here, top of the 7th. He's been sitting a while.
See how that affects him in the bottom of the 7th. Checks his swing. Did he go? He did, says first base umpire Nate Tomlinson. 0-2.
Well, kind of similar to that last check swing we saw with Connor Falefa.
Indeed it was.
Last at bat.
0-2, bounced to short. That might be 2. Second for 1, on to first, and they get the double play. So a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. We're through 6.5. 8-0. You got it, Townie. I like your attitude. And we've talked about this perfect game and see if Kemp can get on base right now. 18 straight retired by the right-hander. Kemp has flied out to Giancarlo Stanton twice in the 1st and the 4th. Coming in for it, the center fielder Bader, and there is one away.
Well, quite the collection. I think we all know and love the outing from Don Larson. Game 5 of the World Series. Wasn't even quite sure what had happened. Catches a leaping Yogi Berra. Right. And then Boomer, David Wells. And the great David Cone.
Dave Noda struck out twice. As Germán has retired the first 19 batters he has faced. Right now he's at 76 pitches, 54 strikes. Giving Chase Donaldson, he'll run out of room. On Ryan Noda. And as it usually does, 2 strikes. Nona calls time. Oh, 2 pitch. That misses away with a changeup. One-two, got him swinging. That's 20 in a row. Retired by Domingo Germán. And here is Brent Rooker.
Well, this curveball slider has really been on its best behavior all night long for Domingo Germán.
A frustrating night for the A's. There's Rooker, who struck out twice. Change up in there for a strike. 9 strikeouts for the right-hander.
Well, and he's done it by getting ahead.
There's Volpe. And Germán is perfect through 7 innings. That's 21 in a row, retired by the right-hander. Through 7 complete. Still 8-0 New York.
Start your weekend early at our Treehouse Happy Hours. Come out to the ballpark at 4:30 p.m. before each Friday night home game. You can enjoy drink specials, bingo, live music, and even watch batting practice. Fans can enter the Treehouse through L Gate before all ballpark gates open to join the fun. Visit athletics.com/happy hour to learn more.
Germán 6 outs away from the perfect game. The 0-1 pitch. Gashioka 1 for 3. Ledman's and 1 away.
Time now for your play of the day, brought to you by your California Ford dealers. And the story this evening has been all Domingo Germán. 7 solid innings thus far. Fairly efficient. Just 82 pitches for the right-hander. Has punched out 9 and has not allowed a base runner.
Volpe, it's one on the right side. Kemp spinning around, throwing to first, and got him. Nice play by Tony Kemp. And 2 down.
Well, great play there by Kemp and a good job by Ryan Noda to get back to the bag. Kind of caught in between. You see where Noda's starting off. Takes a few steps over to his right. Has got to get back. He does. Tony Kemp Nice little wheel and deal here from the second baseman.
Here's DJ LeMahieu, who's 1 for 4. Could be 3 for 4 though. He lined out in the 6th. He's robbed by Ruiz in the 1st. In the bottom of the 8th, it'll be Perez, Brown, and Bride, 4, 5, and 6. One and one. DJ LeMahieu trying to finish strong this month after a really rough month of June. That's rolled on the right side, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Austin Pruitt. A's trying to get it going here. Perez, Brown, and Bride when we return. As Domingo Germán perfect through 7 innings with 9 strikeouts. Giancarlo Stanton, that solo shot. JP Sears 4 innings plus, with the 7 run 6 earned. As Carlos Perez takes a strike. The last perfect game was Felix Hernandez, August 15th, 2012. As Carlos pops it up. Rizzo is under it, and he is now 5 outs away from the perfect game. Here is Seth Brown, the right fielder.
Woldowski, he has gotten ahead early, as I mentioned last half inning. He's gotten the weak contact early in the count necessary to keep him in line to finish the ball game, and at this rate finish the ball game in dramatic fashion.
Brown 0 for 2. Now look at that. Over 5,000 games. July 13, 1991. Ground ball on the left side. Donaldson. And 2 down. He's 4 outs away from the perfect game. He's retired 23 in a row. And here's Jonah Bride. 3 perfect games in 2012 with Hernandez, Matt Cain, and Philip Humber. Of course, Roy Halladay and man sitting next to me, no hitters in the perfect games in 2010. Well, 23 of them, and now 4 outs away is Jonah Bride, who struck out twice, standing up there. One 3-ball count for the right-hander. He's at 86 pitches. 2-0.
Well, almost surprising he didn't get that call on the first pitch of the at-bat. Higashioka has done a really good job tonight of dressing him up back there.
2-0 in there for a strike. Yeah, misses outside. 3-1 on Jonah Bride.
You just said it, Dosky. Just the second 3-ball count all night for the green and gold against Domingo Germán.
3-1 pitch in there for a strike. 3-2. They go all the way to Jonah Bride.
Well, hitters have swung at 66% of his pitches with 2 strikes.
Sammy Long listing up down there.
And there's a good chance you're getting a spinner. 69% off speed with 2 strikes from Domingo Germán. Big league average about 52% of the time. So here 3-2 on what could be his best pitch of the night with that curveball.
3-2 pitch that bounced on 2 offs to Donaldson, and he is now 3 outs away from the perfect game. He's retired 24 in a row, and we're through 8 complete. Yankees lead at 8-0.
Class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places.
All right, Sammy Long will take over here. The great David Feldman just told me and talked about the fact that this will be the third, if it does happen, the third perfect game at this ballpark, which would tie Yankee Stadium as the only ballpark with 3 of them.
Definitely some history. 2 storied franchises.
Sammy Long facing Gleyber Torres. 8 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Yankees. No runs, no hits, 2 errors for the A's. It's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. 0-2. Gleyber Torres 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. So Domingo Germán, who has been, over his last 2 starts, we talked about what has happened with him and all the 15 earned runs and the 6 2/3 innings, is what a struggle it has been for the right-hander. The 1-2 that misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Torres.
Well, I said that Domingo Germán over his last 2 starts could have been mistaken for a Christmas tree the way he was getting lit up. Well, he went full Clark Griswold and turned out the lights.
3-2 now on Gleyber Torres. Yeah, he's been brilliant tonight. Did get some help from Rizzo in that 5th inning, which you see in perfect games. 3-2, got him swinging. So he strikes out. Gleyber Torres, 1 away.
Just climbing the ladder. Sammy Long able to get Gleyber waving.
So here's Rizzo, who is 0 for 4. In the 9th for the A's, it'll be Diaz, Langeliers, and Ruiz due up 7, 8, and 9. 0-1 pitch. One and 2 on Rizzo.
Rizzo a little frustrated there from that Sam Long slide piece.
Sammy Long's done a great job out of the bullpen for the A's this year. Picked up in about the A's for a couple months now, and he has been impressive. That bullpen. It's 2-2 now on Rizzo. Two offering, and this is away.
Well, I can't speak for the hitter, but I can tell you as a pitcher, when you're going well, things are going well for you, kind of like Domingo Germán has them going for him tonight. You almost want the hitters to just get it over with. And I'm talking about the hitters on your team, so you can get back out there and stay in that flow that you've created for yourself.
And that's what's been amazing about it. I mean, you talk about all the long breaks he has had, and he's been able to continue to deal tonight as Rizzo walks with 1 out here in the 9th. And that'll bring up Oswaldo Cabrera. And not a, the good thing for Aaron Boone is it's not like Cabrera's at 100 or I should say Germán's at 125, 130 pitches or anything like that. I mean, he's been very economical as Cabrera swings and misses 0-1. He's induced 6 ground ball outs. Again, he's had 9 strikeouts. That one's banged into left field for a base hit for Cabrera. So 1st and 2nd, 1 out.
Well, New York Yankees have just kept the line moving. Feels like anytime they get a guy on base, they have figured a way to extend the inning, follow it up with another knock or a walk.
There's Bader, who's 2 for 4. Good changeup from Sammy, 0-1.
I know it's not something that you seriously think about, but Sam Long and the Oakland A's, I think about as long as you can stay out there. Does that have any impact, as much as we've talked about the downtime for Domingo Germán? Now you're not out there trying to continue to work long at bats. You want to get your boys in there, see if you can't get a little something going here. You're down to your last 3 outs offensively.
Yeah, just had a shot at Diaz, who'll be the first batter up in that 9th inning. Two and two on Bader. Bounce to third. Ride will go to second base. He throws it into right field. So coming in to score is Rizzo, and it's now 9-0. It'll be fielder's choice E5. Yeah, Stanton goes to second.
Well, you see Jonah Bride back up, and he's trying to get himself maybe a better hop here, but in doing so, you create a little more space between you and second base where you're going for the out. Don't know if that was the route to go. Maybe make sure of at least 1 run over there, or 1 out, excuse me, over there at first base.
Oh, it's now a 9-0 ball game, and there's Donaldson, who's 0 for 3 with the sacrifice fly. Oh, 2. Trying to look to see if they're obviously trying to avoid the right-hander in that dugout. Just trying to stay loose.
Well, that's it. Just trying to move around, keep the blood flowing.
1-2, hit down the left field line. That's going to fall in for a base hit and 1 off the wall. And to score Cabrera, and a double from Donaldson, and it's now 10-0 Yankees. So Donaldson picks up his 2nd RBI of the night and his 11th for the year.
I think tonight is really about a lot of mislocation from the A's pitching staff. We've seen a lot of mistakes in the heart of the strike zone. We've also seen a Yankee lineup who had been struggling mightily start to break out.
So now a 2-run inning and a 10-0 deficit for the A's. And here is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. 2nd, 3rd, still just 1 out. The Yankees are all in front of him. 0-1. Swung and a miss. So were they doing the same thing? Were they avoiding you like or when you were in that dugout? Or
well, no, I was somebody who was not talked to, was not even really communicated with outside of the catcher on my start day. So yeah, the idea of avoiding me wasn't something new, or
that was just what they did,
and that was just what happened every 5 days with myself.
How about with Landon?
No, there was very little communication. I mean, I have a routine. I had a routine, excuse me, in between innings.
Oh, bounce to short. He'll score a run. Diaz will go to Noda for the 2nd out as Bader comes in to score. Going to 3rd base, Donaldson. It's now 11-0 Yankees. And here's Kyle Higashioka.
You know, that would be when things start to get weird, when things start to happen later in the ball game that typically don't ever happen, like communication in between innings. And so you just try to keep things as close to the same as you can.
Yeah. So it's no different for you. Here is Higashioka, the seventh man to bat in the inning. He takes a strike. Higashioka 1 for 4 with a double. 0-2. Again in the ninth, Diaz, Langoliers, and Ruiz. As Germán trying to make history, it's the 24th perfect game in Major League history.
And inevitably the question will come, did you, and at what point did you realize you had something special going on? And I'd be really interested to figure out what that moment in time was for Domingo Germán, considering the long lulls that he has had during this outing.
Coming it to right, Seth Brown. And we're going to stay right here. 2 runs in the inning. Or 3 runs in the inning. It's 11-0 Yankees, but we're going to stay right here and show some Yankee perfection. As here he comes, Domingo Germán. He's 3 outs away from a perfect game.
Well, you can hear the Yankee faithful trying to rally and support their guy as Domingo Germán makes his way out to the mound for the 9th inning.
Yep, he'll have Diaz, Langoliers, and Ruiz. There's Don Larson. Yeah, these are some no-hitters. The Yankees, David Wells, yep. And Don Larson, or excuse me, David Cohn. Corey Kluber. See Larson, Wells, and Cohn, the only perfect games in Yankee history.
Well, the emotional outing for David Cohn. Yogi Berra Day, Yogi catching the first pitch thrown by Don Larson. Just an incredibly emotional day for Yankee fans, no doubt. Opportunity for history once again.
Yeah, it is 12:08 in New York. 12:08 a.m. But I'm sure many Yankee fans glued to their TV sets and their radios right now as Domingo Germán is 3 outs away from a perfect game. Aledmys Diaz will be the hitter. Diaz has bounced out and flied out 0 for 2. Germán delivers and the pitch misses away. It's 1-0.
First pitch changeup from Domingo Germán after a bit of a lengthy sit down.
There's the 1-0. That's in there for a strike. A couple of off-speed pitches to start.
Just staying away from that straight one.
There's the 1-1 to Diaz. 1-2. There's a 1-2 pitch. That's bounced toward Volpe. He's up with it, and he is 2 outs away from the perfect game. 25 in a row retired by Domingo Germán. And here is Shea Langoliers. Langoliers has flied out and struck out 0 for 2. 4 of his last 5 outs. He has induced ground ball outs. As the pitch to Shea is swung on and popped up. Shallow center field coming in is Bader calling for it all the way, and he makes the catch, and The right-hander Domingo Germán is 1 out away from a perfect game. Retired 26 straight.
Well, there's no doubt it has been a special evening. Yankee fans are on their feet.
Here is Esteury Ruiz. As the pitch is swung on, hit on one hop to Donaldson. Donaldson to first. He has done it. Domingo Germán has thrown the 24th perfect game in Major League history. And he is being mobbed by his teammates. Incredible. A perfect game for Germán.
From the first pitch of the ball game, Domingo Germán showed you things were working well. Fastball, curveball, changeup, everything was on its best behavior tonight for Domingo Germán.
We have seen history tonight.
We sure have.
27 up, 27 down for the Yankee right-hander. The 4th perfect game in Yankees history. And the first perfect game in Major League Baseball in nearly 11 years. What a moment for the right-hander and his teammates. Hugs all over the place for the right-hander. Well, you've thrown one at something special in baseball. 24 of them now. You know what he's going through emotionally right now.
Well, there's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of folks that he's thanking in his heart, in his mind right now. With the help and support of his teammates, he is experiencing something you only dream of.
It is 12 minutes after 12 in New York. As the right-hander Domingo Germán, with hugs from the coaching staff and his teammates. Just a moment he'll never forget.
Consider how things have gone for Domingo over the last few outings. To have this kind of a turnaround, this kind of a bounce back.
Yeah.
Some might call it a perfect bounce back.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, it's the beautiful thing about this game.
Well, it sure is. It offers you the opportunity to make small adjustments, and maybe, just maybe, your today can be a little bit better than your yesterday.
And the Yankee faithful will come out here, pointing to them.
Well, and now it begins. Gonna need the hat, gonna need the uniform, gonna need it all. Ruiz with a little tapper over to Josh Donaldson, who finishes it off. And let the hugs begin.
Here is a reaction from the right-hander. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Jubilation and relief. 27 straight retired by Domingo Germán.
Well, just a great job by the entire Yankee team. Take every pitch, one pitch at a time. As you started getting closer and closer to the end of the ball game, you could start to sense the energy. You could really start to sense everybody feeling that palpable emotion.
Was it Bride he was 3-1 to? He had a 3-1 count to Bride, right?
Jonah Bride, 3-1 count, able to work his way back.
And the Gatorade bath for the catcher, Higashioka. Susan Waldman down there.
And credit to Kyle Higashioka all night, pressing the right buttons, putting the right fingers down, doing a great job behind the plate of dressing pitches up.
What a moment as this right-hander has pitched the 24th perfect game in Major League history. And the first one in 11 years.
I'm going to tell you, Domingo Germán will go on to continue to have great outings, great games. But this is a moment in time that he will never forget. And his life from this day forward will never, ever be the same.
As you can attest to, my friend. Well, we'll go to Toyota A's postgame live on this history-making night. As Domingo Germán makes some history tonight. Toyota A's postgame live will start right now.